Hi everyone, welcome to our latest Beta Change Minisode. I'm Ashley, I'm one of the co-founders of Beta Change, and joining us today we have Weronika, who's currently in Brussels but is originally from Poland. Welcome Veronica, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Weronika. Yes, I'm from Poland, from Warsaw exactly, and currently I live in Brussels. I'm 28 years old, and I've been living with type 1 diabetes since 1995.
So you're currently living in Brussels. Can you tell us a bit more about what you're doing in Brussels, or is that a secret?
So actually, currently I am a member of the European Health Parliament. So this is a movement for young professionals and students who want to make a better change in EU health. Actually, so we are working on like real documents, real propositions for the European Parliament. Actually, so there is a possibility that they can implement some of our ideas and make new laws. So yes, that's very exciting. Yes,
yeah, so exciting.
Yeah, we have actual like plenary sessions, and we have 5 committees, and I'm in the committee of health literacy and self-care. So, and it was my first choice.
That's amazing. I wanted to ask you a bit about your pancreas plushie in the background. And maybe with that, could you tell us a bit more about your diagnosis? Because you said you were diagnosed at 4. Can you remember a bit about that day and what that means, and also the story behind the plushie?
Yes, so yeah, I was diagnosed when I was 4 years old. Actually, I remember some of it. I remember the hospital. I remember like this stress. I remember that I had to stay in the hospital alone, and my parents couldn't be with me actually back then. Yeah, it was 90s, so it was different. Now it's actually better when children are diagnosed. In the beginning, I had to get injections with these syringes, like this very thin and long syringes. So it was very painful, and I didn't like it at all. I'm on insulin pump therapy, and I really enjoyed. Yeah, and about the about the plushie. So this is Blue. Its name is Blue. It's a friendly pancreas with type 1 diabetes, and my sister made me this plushie. She's very artistic person, so it's made of felt, and usually the pancreas is accompanying me at diabetes events, and when people see it, they really love it, and yeah, you can find some photos on the internet because usually they want to make a selfie with Blue. So
That's awesome. I love it. And it sounds like, your whole family is very supportive of you and your journey and your career choices and what you've been doing to date. And it's so incredible to hear how things have changed in that short period of time of 24 years, how you used to have long needles and now you're on an insulin pump. So technology has come a long way even for us to do this, which is amazing. So tell us a bit more about how your professional skills tie in with your diabetes advocacy and all the stuff that you do on social media and online. Tell us a bit more about that.
Since 2013, I run a diabetes blog, and I'm using my skills from both of my professions to support diabetes community. So I'm trying to support people with diabetes in different ways. So one day it can be a funny diabetes meme. Another, it can be a useful infographic or an article. Yeah, so I'm just trying to use my skills and knowledge in different ways on different platforms.
That's amazing. So what's your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and blog? Share us what are your handles and how can we find you on there?
So actually my blog is in Polish, but I know that I also have readers from different parts of the world, and they're just using just Google Translator, I believe. Yes, but so my blog is just Blue Sugar Cube, blogspot.com.
So if we want to find you on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, blog, if we search Blue Sugar Cube, we can find you there. And we'll send out links as well.
Yeah, I'm also using this hashtag, so
awesome. Well, we'll send out the links as well after this. We can post it in the comments so everyone can find you and follow you and see all the amazing work that you do. So in terms of, I guess we talked about this before when we were just chatting around the difficulties of maintaining sort of your personal life and having boundaries around that against the professional advice that you give because you're a social diabetes educator as well. What are some of the challenges that you've had in maintaining those boundaries?
Yeah, so actually I have, from time to time, I have these situations that people are writing me messages with questions, like very medical questions, rather for doctors, not for me. So and I've heard that it often happened to my friends who have blogs, because I think that people believe that we have like more experience and more knowledge because we are participating in events at like diabetes conferences, so we are constantly educating ourselves. But it doesn't mean that we can give a medical advice. So I always write to people just in a very calm way that, it's important to talk to your doctor because it's a very serious question. It's a medical question. So I can't really help you because I'm a social diabetes educator, but I can only advise you on very basic things. I can't really, for example, calculate your doses of insulin because I don't know you, and each of us have a different body, different needs. So for me, it's impossible, especially on the internet. I don't even see this person. So yes, but so if you have such situation, if you have a blog, you just have to explain the person that they should get advice, I don't know, from GP or endocrinologist or diabetologist, not really from a blogger.
Yeah, and I see it myself too because I'm a dietitian and some people ask me for advice, and particularly in some of the online groups that I moderate, and I say to them, this is very much medical advice. Don't ask people on the internet, go ask a healthcare professional. And then sometimes we just say, in our experience, this is what we have done before. But before you make any changes, you need to go see your healthcare professional. So I guess it's sort of having those expectations and letting people know that this is what it is. You can't expect medical advice on the internet. So I feel you. And I feel you. And then I guess in terms of online community, how do you see the diabetes community changing from all the global connections that we've made online and through all the different types of social media? Because on your social media, you were saying before, like particularly with your blog, you have, even though it's in Polish, people do Google Translate and read that. How do you see the diabetes community changing over time with all these global interactions?
I think that it's great that our community is growing so fast, because we have so many different experiences in each country. I remember first time when I went to actually youth leadership camp of IDF Europe, and when we were discussing the differences in our countries, it was shocking for each of us how different it is. So it's great that we can connect online, because we can discuss our problems. We can maybe discuss solutions, and I think it's very important. It's very important to really have to connect with people from different countries, because the first thing, of course you can develop your language skills. The other thing, you can discuss important topics like refundation, for example, in different countries. And I think that you also feel like you are a part of a bigger family. You're not alone, because many people live in, for example, small towns, and they don't really have diabetes friends. It's easier in bigger cities, but sometimes even in bigger cities, you can't find someone, because it's not like people are just saying openly that, oh, I have diabetes, or just it's written on their forehead. So sometimes it's easier to just find friends online on Instagram, Twitter, or at any other social media medium. So you can feel that you're not alone. You have support, and so that I think that it's great that it's still growing. It's really great support, and I think it's important for even for our mental health, I can say, because if we can talk about diabetes with anyone in our surroundings, maybe some people can talk about diabetes with their family and friends who don't have diabetes, with their partners. Then I think everyone should have at least one person to talk that you can talk to about diabetes.
Yeah, I agree. I think I remember feeling so isolated when I was first diagnosed, because I was diagnosed when I was 19 years old. So it felt like my whole world just caving in. So I reached out online, and eventually I found, Diabetes Online Community on Twitter. And that was just amazing how you can always connect with someone across the world, just talking about diabetes, saying, I'm having a low, and they say, oh, I'll keep you company until your sugar comes up. And it's so nice to have that support, but also to hear about what other people are going through. So, different things like, insurance and, instant access and things like that. It's really eye-opening. So I don't know how people got through, living with diabetes back in the days without the wonders of the internet. So it's amazing. And I can't wait to see what positive changes that the diabetes community will bring about in terms of, breaking down the stigma and misinformation around diabetes. And I don't know if that's something you've experienced before.
Stigma?
Yeah.
Diabetes. I remember in primary school that I've been in a bubble, that so many people wanted to protect me.
Yeah.
At the same time, it was like I was too privileged, and I felt isolated as the same time. So I remember that children were looking at me in a totally different way, that she can do whatever she wants, and but I was really alone. So then later it changed. Also my perspective changed, but when you are a child, it's really hard also to understand. When I look back right now, for me, it's like, oh, I know what they were feeling at the primary school, with all this privileges that I got.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized it, I just changed my perspective. I changed how I was talking about my diabetes, and how I was like doing different things. Then it turned out that it doesn't necessarily it isn't necessarily an obstacle in my life. So yeah.
So diabetes changed your perspective on life a little bit as you grow up?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I even remember one of my friends in high school. She had epilepsy, and she said that my perspective changed her perspective.
Wow.
That's my and I was shocked when she told me this. I was like, wow, really? Because I was just, I have diabetes, so yeah, I'm just doing the stuff that I need to do, but I'm living my life.
Yeah.
And she was like, wow, you are so like confident with your disease. You are not making a big deal out of it. You are just doing your stuff. And actually, she told me one time, she told me this, and I was really shocked that just doing this simple thing, just showing people that it's not like it's not a problem for me. It's not.
It's not a death sentence.
It doesn't prevent me from doing like all that stuff that I want to do. So yeah, I think that our approach is very important because we can show people how they should look at diabetes. I mean, of course, we have to explain that there are some even life-threatening situations that they need help, but on daily basis, it's just a part of me, and
and it's so important. Yeah, and it's so important that we do share our stories. That everyone share their stories because there's different perspectives of living with diabetes, and showing people that just because you have diabetes doesn't mean you can't do this and you can't do that. Sometimes it might take a bit longer, sometimes it takes a bit more preparation, but you can do it. So do you feel that diabetes has given you a more positive outlook on life, or like a bit more self-confidence in general?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I mean, I feel that turning point in my life was when I got the pump. I was so much like I was very confident. I started to be very confident, and I was explaining. Even I was still a child back then, but I was explaining people like what is it, what I'm doing, what is diabetes, just like all I knew basically at the time. So I feel like I feel like I'm more open because of diabetes. I mean, because I when someone is asking, I just explaining. Yeah, definitely more patient. Also, I'm more aware of my health, of how my body works, what is good for me and bad for my body. So yeah, nutrition, and yeah, so I can just keep on going with this list.
That's fantastic. So just to tie our Minisode up tonight, do you have any final words of advice that you would like to give to other diabetes advocates or even other health advocates around the world who, want to do a bit more in terms of helping other people, and, how can they get started and all that kind of stuff? Do you have any advice for them?
So if you're, if you want to start, I would recommend, starting with your local association, I think, because this is how I started. So I can say it from my own experience that you can start with your diabetes association, local one, and ask about the opportunities, how you can help. Because, for example, I've been doing these meetings, webinars, and also some lectures. So I started locally, and then because my association is a member of IDF, then some more opportunities arise. Yeah, so I think that start locally, and then you can think globally, because also you have to understand what is going on in your own country, what problems, what needs have people with diabetes in your country, because I believe each person is advocating for their own community, besides like a global one, then also the national one. So when I'm going somewhere, I'm representing Poland, my country. So this is how you can start. But I think that as we were talking about the online diabetes community, you can do so many interesting things online. For example, this year I started in September the connection campaign on Instagram, and it's called Connection, but instead of I there is one, so like T1. I feel like you can, if you have an idea, just do it, because you will regret it. You will think that, oh, I could have, done this and this, and usually I'm just going for it if I have the resources. Sometimes you don't need many things to do something great, because I know that some people are afraid that, oh, I don't have money, I don't have other resources, I don't have contacts. But maybe you have your own ideas. Maybe you can do something interesting using social media. Social media is free, so maybe you can conduct an online campaign on Instagram, maybe on Twitter, maybe you can start a blog by sharing your experience. This is also very valuable for people with diabetes. If someone is diagnosed, people are writing me, oh, I was just diagnosed, or parents of children with diabetes. Oh, now we understand how our child is feeling. So this is also valuable. It doesn't have to be some worldwide like big campaign with banners and exhibition and all stuff. It can be just small local campaign, it can be online campaign, or it can be a YouTube channel or a blog. So it's important to just I think don't just focus on a simple ideas. Don't plan something enormous, because then you will like you'll think that it's not for you, and then maybe you stop. And I think that it's important to just focus on small steps, go step by step, and don't be afraid to reach out to people, because many people, even if they, for example, have many followers and they seem like they are unreachable, you can really approach them and get help. So just be open, and just do it. I would say.
Just do it. And I think the most important thing as well is to be yourself when you're telling your story, because people know when you're, not being genuine about it as well. So those are really good tips and good advice. Start small, and then from something small, bigger things will grow and follow, right? Well, thank you so much. And for everyone else who's watching and tuning in, we will leave Weronika's contact details below in terms of her blog, her Instagram, her Facebook, so you can follow her and follow what her journey is going to be, or what her other adventures she's going to be on in the near future, as well as some surprises, hopefully, and maybe more appearances of Blue at different events. So thank you, Weronika. Was there anything else you would like to share or say?
Yeah, so I just want to say that that with the diabetes you can do everything, and it doesn't define you. It's just like 1% of you, not 100%. So you can really do amazing things. You can really reach your goals and make your dreams come true.
That's
So yeah,
that's amazing. Thank you so much. And to everyone
thank
who's watched this, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, we'll catch you on our next Be to Change minisode. Bye.
thank you. Bye.